Welcome to my vagina. We've been hearing the name Anita Sarkeesian a lot. On March 7th, 2013, the host of the web series Feminist Frequency published her piece, Tropes vs. Women in Video Games, which received enormous backlash full of anger and sexism that further thrust her into the spotlight. 6 days ago, she canceled her lecture on misogyny and pop culture for the Center for Women and Gender at Utah State University. Because even after receiving extremely violent and dangerous threats online, Utah State refused to ramp up their security measures. It was requested of the university that they administer pat-downs and metal detectors to prevent concealed firearms. Apparently, it violated a law that passed in 2004 that prohibits the universities from restricting the state's stance on possession or use of firearms. So if you're watching this on your phone in public in Utah, the guy next to you might have a gun in his pocket. Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Oh fuck, it's a gun! The most serious threat came from an email that claimed that if Miss Sarkeesian did not cancel, that the author would perpetuate a Montreal massacre-styled shooting. The lunatic was referencing the massacre that happened in 1989, when a gunman walked into the École Polytechnique in Montreal. He entered a classroom, ordered all the male students to leave, and ordered all the female students to line up against the wall. He then started screaming, "You're all a bunch of feminists, and I hate feminists." He then unleashed his semi-automatic rifle on them. By the end of the massacre, he'd killed 14 people and injured 13 more. And Utah State didn't believe that that merited a pat-down. Are you fucking kidding me? If we can check our codes, maybe we can check our guns at the door so that people don't get killed. What asshole wouldn't put down his gun for a day so that some sociopathic psycho wouldn't come in and start plowing people down with his semi-automatic rifle because they have an opinion? He emailed that this would be the deadliest school shooting in American history and I'm giving you a chance to stop it, all after listing his lovely array of weapons that he possessed. Perhaps, maybe there's a slight chance that Gamergate could have started out with well-meaning people and well-meaning gamers that cared about ethics and transparency. Concerned that gamers and journalists are way too intertwined. That journalists are getting early and free access to games and then hyping them up when essentially they're crap. This isn't new, but it does suck, and I understand wanting to raise flags about that issue. This all started with Zoe Quinn's Depression Quest, which received good reviews despite its lack of machine guns. I played it, and it certainly does seem like more of a narrative art form to explore your feelings versus shooting down mutants with an AK-47. When this unusual game received favorable reviews, Quinn was immediately decried as a figure of corruption who slept her way to positive reviews. These claims were proven false, but the damage to her reputation was already done. Someone called her father to tell him that his daughter was a whore. Even though it was a jealous ex that first claimed that Quinn slept with a Kotaku journalist for the review, those involved in Gamergate quickly leached on to the rallying cry, "She's a whore, burn the witch."
I found the witch, may we burn her?
Everything that has followed has turned an open-minded discussion into a feminist lynch mob.
I'm not a witch.
But you are dressed as one.
They dressed me up like this.
Full of death threats, rape tweets, and hateful diatribes on YouTube. But who doesn't like being called a misandric cunt in all caps?
Burn already!
In an article, Vice called Gamergaters poopy pants. I quite prefer that. Because every feminist now is some suspicious villain trying to steal your fun away. Give me a break. It seems that any sane gamers stepped away from this bullying crap like they were stepping away from a hot bowl of Ebola. I can understand the discontent over the fear of journalistic corruption, but I have to raise an issue when women have to start fleeing their homes. Like Brianna Wu, who after minutes of having her personal details leaked on the chat forum 8chan, received texts like, "I've got a K-bar and I'm going to come to your house and shove it up your ugly feminist cunt." I had to look up K-bar. I keep hearing and reading that people think that there isn't sexism in the gaming industry.
Are there video games that are rife with sexism? Is that true? Do they promote a culture of misogyny and violence that must be dismantled? Well, my answer is no.
Really? If that's the case, then why has Anita Sarkeesian been harassed non-stop for the past 2 years for speaking out on excessive harassment towards women in the gaming industry? P.S. She speaks out from what seems to me a very well-researched, rational tone.
As always, please keep in mind that it's entirely possible to be critical of some aspects of a piece of media, while still finding other parts valuable or enjoyable.
If you don't like what she's saying, why do you watch it? If you fight what she's saying with actual harassment, you're kind of debunking your point. You're only proving that there is a toxicity within gaming that drives misogynistic hatred. I just don't understand why everyone can't play. The industry is changing. There is a cultural spasm taking place, and it could be awesome if everyone was just a little bit more open to change. Sure, it was a male-dominated world, but so what? Now women want to play too. How is that not a good thing? So what if women gamers want less prostitutes crying for their lives and more women who are willing to pull a sword out of their sheath to kick some fucking ass? Maybe I mean vagina sheath, maybe I don't. This doesn't take away from gaming, it adds to it. Just because it's new doesn't make it bad. You don't have to like everyone or what they do, but you also don't have to spend your days attacking them.
And if we can get past these shallow conflicts, we can get back to debating the important questions that face us as a gaming community. Whether or not you're a noob, whether or not you're feeding on purpose, is Dota 2 better than League of Legends or vice versa? Questions like that.
Are you part of the solution or are you part of the con? Tell me which side are you on now? Which side are you on?